It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for the Walking Dead universe, another video for one of the spin-offs that are going to be coming up. This one's the Daryl Dixon spin-off, which is called Raise the Dead. We're going to talk about how does Daryl end up in France. Obviously, we do know that he ends up in France, but obviously it's still a mystery how he ends up in France. We're going to take a look at a few pictures that raises even more questions and pretty much no answers, but there are some very interesting and confusing pictures that have come out, and to me, it's definitely a WTF moment if it ends up being what we think it is. And to be honest, it just reminds me of Titanic. For those of you who have seen the picture, know exactly what I'm talking about, but stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. Obviously, we see what appears to be a flipped boat, and on top of it is someone laying down. I'm assuming that's Daryl Dixon, so it looks like this is Daryl on top of a flipped boat, and this is an ocean. It's probably the Atlantic Ocean because that's the only way Daryl would get to Europe, France specifically, from the United States. Now, this is definitely a WTF thing. Like, what is this? How does it make sense? Like, how does someone go from the US to France like this? It just makes zero sense. You know what I mean? And honestly, if we're thinking about it rationally and realistically, he should be dead. Like, there's no way he's gonna make it. Now, we're assuming that this is near France or the US, and we're assuming that there is nothing in between. Like, Daryl gets on top of the boat like this, somehow washes up on it or something, and then gets washed up to shore in France. If that's the case, then this is ridiculous. But obviously, we don't know if they're gonna put anything in as far as having him be picked up by someone or something like that. But if this is truly how he ends up there, if it was someone who was awake, it would take them months and months. And even then, they might not make it. So if he ends up there like this, then it's definitely unrealistic to say the least. Now, obviously, this reminds us a lot of Titanic. So it looks like Jack's been found. I'm just kidding, obviously, but I'm sure that they're not going to make the same mistake as Titanic, and Daryl can probably squeeze Carol in. An interesting picture. That's all I have to say about it. I don't know how everything is going to come together, but this just looks ridiculous the way it is. But aside from that, we have some behind the scenes photos that are kind of related. So we see they're decorating some sort of a port. They're decorating it with post-apocalyptic artifacts like vines and stuff like that. And obviously there's a boat there. It connects to what we just saw. It's not the same boat, but it's a boat. And the other boat was like really small, obviously. But this is actually in Marseille, France, which is a coastal city in France. So I'm assuming that that's the first place Daryl is going to go, which makes sense. He washes up to shore in France. That's probably one of the first places he would be at. But we also have these two pictures. Not much to say. I mean, they've decorated this car, put vines all around it. And obviously we see it's near the water. So again, this is like near a port most likely. Similar to the one on the left. I think that's the same boat that we just looked at, but from a different angle. So it looks like they're definitely spending a lot of time decorating and kind of putting together a location of some sort of a port which would connect to what we saw with the Daryl behind the scenes picture, or not even behind the scenes, but the, I would say, leaked at this point picture of Daryl Dixon in the ocean. But aside from that, not much else to discuss. I mean, I really hope that they explain this well. I hope that they don't assume that the audience are idiots. If they keep it realistic, if they keep it somewhat grounded in reality, then it could kind of work. But at this point, if Daryl truly washes up to France like how we saw it, then it's just BS, to be completely honest. Like, what the hell were they thinking? That's all I can say. But with that said, I'm definitely intrigued to know your thoughts and opinions. I'm sure a lot of you are gonna have a lot to say. This video wasn't really me breaking things down in a realistic way. It was more a fun video because the topic itself is foolish, to be honest. But I am interested to know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.